fully certain. Like here, she color selects the teal, right? So then she's drawing in teal strands of hair. Then she moves down here. So she should still be using teal because we did not see her color select a different color. Otherwise, it would pop up, right, with that circle selector. So here she should still be drawing in teal, except it's not teal. Like, maybe I'm tripping, right? Maybe I'm absolutely tripping, but there's just brush strokes that don't make sense to me. But again, we kind of go back and forth in the drawing process, and oh, we have this piece. Now, as another time lapse, 10 hours of drawing and 40 seconds to be continued. So again, the beginning of the time lapse still looks very reminiscent to how it looked in the first video that we saw, the first time lapse. And again, the art process is just odd because, like, again, if you look at it here, this is another part that I thought was odd to me, right? She draws in the hood. So she like already blocks out all of these spots where there's not gonna be stuff, I guess, right? Like maybe this is where the braid is. Then she draws in the braid and there's a big gap. Like you see the big white gap here? And then later it gets, I mean, maybe it's a mistake. And then this gets rendered in? Whatever that's supposed to be. It's just that the art process to me is highly suspicious. And then somebody commented, can people stop pretending to draw AI images? And they posted a video, another speed paint, you know, it's literally the same speed paint. And in the caption, they write, every day I hear these accusations, but this isn't AI. To prove it, there are plenty of speed paints, and now I'm uploading the stats of the drawing and the number of layers. I will take your words as compliments. So here we can see the stats. Again, total strokes made, 22,000, track time, 9 hours, 51, total file size, 451. And here we can see all of the layers. I know I'm being really nitpicky right now. It's because of the AI suspicion, but typically for at least if I were to draw a piece like this highly rendered, like that's out of my skill capability first off, but two, like when I draw pieces that are extremely highly rendered, like there's like hundreds of layers, hundreds. That's again my art process, right? Like everybody has their own art processes. Some people just use very few amount of layers. But something that other people pointed out that was a little bit suspicious online is the fact that everything is a normal layer. If you guys don't know, with Procreate, you can change the blend mode of the layer to, you know, to like multiply, add, subtract, whatever. But it would indicate here next to the check mark. So on the left of the check mark, it says N. And what N stands for is normal. If you were to make like a multiply layer, it would say like M or something like that. It would not say N. So that's just why it's a bit suspicious. Here's another thing that I think is odd. I could be wearing a tinfoil hat, guys, and I could be overanalyzing this. But there is no layer number 1. This will be important later, so I want you to remember this, okay? When you make layers in Procreate, as you open up new layers, they will be numbered in the order that you made the layer. So if you open up and you make a new layer, it will say like layer 1. Then you make another one, it'll say layer 2, and it'll keep going onwards. Background color is separate, and that is default. There will always be a background color layer. I think you can maybe toggle that off. I've never done it. If we scroll through, the very bottom layer is layer 46, which is like fine, right? Because some people draw the background last, you drag it all the way to the bottom. I do that. But as you can see, the topmost layer is layer 17, 19, 13, 7, 9, 25. You know, you don't need me to read this out for you guys. And then she scrolls down a little bit. We can see these are all double digit numbers, right? She scrolls. Okay, the lowest number here is an 8. Scrolls again, there's like a 5, there's a 3, there's a 6, there's a, yeah, that was the 5. There's no layer number 1. And another thing I want to point out that's really weird to me in the layers is that these layers look like, again, layers from somebody who's like faking an art process, because the things do not make sense. If you look at layers 4 and 5, layers 4 is the white of the left eye plus the entirety of the left iris. But it also has the white of the right eye, a little bit of yellow, I guess, for the iris. And then layer 5 has all of the shading for the left eye, but there's a big hole in the middle because the iris is on the layer below. But then on layer 5, it's all of the iris of the right eye. So it's just weird that they would do it like that, right? Layer 4 has all of one eyeball, except for some shading, and only half of the other eye. And then layer 5 has the other half of the other eye and some shading. That's just why it's odd to me. Like, again, if you do your layers like this, let me know in the comment section down below. There's just so many oddities in this person's art process that I don't personally believe that it is not AI. And then here we get the actual speed paint. So this is the drawing in of the sketch that I told you guys we were going to look at earlier. Now we get to look at how the sketch is drawn in. Okay, and this is, again, odd to me because, again, we have the entirety of the right eye that gets drawn in, and then almost all of the left eye, and then we draw in part of the face, and it kind of seems like she was like, oh shit, I forgot to draw the iris for the left eye. Let me go draw that in now. And then they draw the iris in. That's what I'm saying. Again, there are artists who legitimately draw piece by piece, right? Like eye first, then the... But then you would finish it, right? You would completely draw in the right eye and then move on to the left eye. I feel like forgetting the iris is quite a big thing. And then we have like the most elaborate face jewelry drawn in. Again,